All right, hello everybody, and happy Self-Care Saturday here at Life of Joy Foundation. This is Joy Cortina, founder of Life of Joy, and so excited to be with you all today, announcing our next activity for our Life of Joy community group. So back at the beginning of June, we started our June Gratitude Challenge to really help people rise up, along with our Rise Up campaign, through just this whole dynamic that we've been working through these last couple of months with COVID and the pandemic and the challenging then socio-political climate that we're all working through, and did this gratitude challenge to focus on mindset and to help raise people's spirits. And so now we're going to go to focusing on the body. So because we're a mind, body, spirit focus with Life of Joy, fostering a holistic approach to mental health. And so we've talked a little bit about mindset with gratitude, and now we're going to be transitioning into our July fitness challenge, all about movement. And so we have a lot of really fun stuff in store for you. But today I have with me our board of directors, Vice President Daphne Ryans. And we also have Jamise with us, who is a lot of things. I'm going to let Daphne introduce her and just talk a little bit about the mental health benefits of movement, of physical activity, and a little bit of why we're doing this. So Daphne, go ahead.
Perfect. I'm actually very excited to introduce to our Life of Joy community, Miss Jamise DeCoster. She actually has a bachelor's degree in psychology, a master's degree in public health, and is now working on her doctorate in clinical psychology as well. So as we were getting to know Jamise, well, I already knew her, but as we were introducing her to Joy, Joy had a very good question. And she said, so which one came first, the physical fitness, personal trainer part, and then went into your degree? And surprisingly, it was the other way around. So tell us a little about that, Jamise.
Yeah, so I have always been physically active. I ran track growing up. I ran track in high school all the way until, well, younger than that, until college. So being active was fun, was great for me. But I then began later on in life pursuing my doctoral degree, which is what I'm doing now. But I've always been working out and always been active. And so I knew what being physically healthy did for my mental health. And then I also dealt with my own mental health challenges. And I understood that the importance between, being physically active and making sure that helping my mental health. So I wanted to really help other people really see the beauty in that, and that they can do simple things to really kind of just foster their mental health growth.
Perfect. So, and you really make sure that you connect with that theme kind of in everything. So Jamise has Fit Mise, which is her personal training business. And with every session, she makes sure that she reminds us that our mind and our body actually play well together. They're intended to work together. And that's something that you're passionate about and really falls in line with the mission of Life of Joy. So why is that so important?
Because poor physical health can lead to an increased risk of developing like mental health problems. And then vice versa, right? You have poor mental health that can really negatively impact one's physical health. And so, which can lead to an increase in a lot of different conditions. So especially stress, anxiety, depression can all be managed different ways, many different ways. But understanding the correlation between the body and the mind is so important because they both work together and they have to work together. They're like sisters who just can't be separated. Like I always say that you cannot have one without the other. You just can't.
Okay, perfect. Which is why we want, for the month of July, we want to start move freely. We're somewhat breaking out of COVID. Don't get carried away, but we're coming out of quarantine and we want you to move freely. So you enjoy fitness. We know all of us do not enjoy fitness.
Yes.
So how much does it really take? How much do we need to move to start seeing an impact with our mind and our body?
You can move 10, 15, 20 minutes a day to really see an impact in your mind. Now, depending upon what your goals are physically, you might have to do a little bit more. But for a lot of people, it can just be walking, starting off with walking. I know one lady I've worked with, she just had some issues moving. So she would sit on the couch. I said during, not during lunch breaks, but during commercial breaks, get up, sit down, get up, sit down on the couch and just do that until the show comes back on. And then maybe 10 minutes later, just do that again. So you're kind of distracting yourself while you're doing these things so that you can like actually get them done instead of having to, take time to think about it. And sometimes when people start thinking about it, they get overwhelmed. They put on their workout clothes and they say, I don't want to do this anymore. And then they just go back. So just making sure that, you can do small things, whether it's just like during commercial breaks, if you're watching television, going up and down the steps, go up and down, come down if you have steps in your house. If not, just walk around where you live and just come back in. I mean, it can be your room, it can be your house, it can be your apartment, wherever, just walking, just really stimulating that body, which will help stimulate the mind.
Perfect.
Positive.
Perfect. Yeah. So I know when I move, you putting your psychology degree to use. So when we move, what happens to the mind? What physically happens to our mind?
So we release these feel-good chemicals. They're called endorphins. And while some people, while they're working out, they're like, oh, this sucks. Like, I hate it. As soon as they're done, they're like, man, that was a good workout. I'm glad I got that done. You're a little bit happy. You're like, I'm glad that, you feel positive about yourself because you did something for yourself. But then your body is also like, okay, we might be a little bit sore, but we know this is what we needed, or we know this is what was good for us. We might be a little out of breath. And so you feel not only accomplished, but like I said, you release these good, feel good chemicals in your brain called endorphins that are just so excited and they make you feel good. And you're like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm really doing it. So that's what really happens in the mind in a short form of what actually happens. But yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. Joy, I know we're going to be having different themes each week to keep moving. So while we're telling everybody to move 10, 15 minutes, because we want those that are not active to get active. But if you're already active, we want you to challenge yourself during the month of July to keep moving. So there's one last thing I definitely want Jamise to speak on, because we often separate, from the neck down and then the neck up. So Jamise, put it all together for us.
So in short form, it's so important to make sure, sometimes, like, for example, when we go to the doctor, our primary care physician, they're really focused on this part, right? We're focused on from the neck down, but just as important is from the neck up, because what controls the neck down is what is up here, right? That's where it starts. You start to make healthier choices up here, right? You don't start down here. You start in your mind to make healthier choices. You start in your mind to actually want to go do some exercise. So it's just as important to make sure the neck up is healthy in whatever it may be, whether you might be overly stressed or you might be, pretty down in the dumps, depressed by what's going on in this country or in this world with COVID and everything else. And just making sure that, this up here is just as important as maintaining its health than from the neck down, because they work together. And if your neck down, from the neck down, is not as healthy, your neck up is going to be following suit, and vice versa.
Right. I love the sister correlation.
Yes. They're sisters. They're like twin sisters. They have to go together. They never separate. If one is down, the other one is like, no, come on, we have to do better. So they never work without each other.
Yeah. Awesome. It's kind of like a brotherhood too for the guys out there.
Yeah, for the guys out there. Yeah, like brotherhood. They cannot one cannot go without the other. They're always trailing behind each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very good. Yeah, we definitely do not want to leave the brothers out.
Definitely not.
Fit as well.
Yeah. Well, and I love too what you had mentioned earlier before we went live here, even just about you know, I feel like these last couple of weeks, right, months, we've all been kind of pent up, and even just the work life schedule, you know, has, people are stuck behind screens all day, and then of course with all the stuff that's going on, just you know, trying to keep up the news and social media and all that stuff. I know it's become like an issue for a lot of folks. It's hard to pull away from all that sometimes, and yet I think that's exactly sometimes what our bodies and our minds and our souls need, is a break from all that stuff. So that's part of the reason why we wanted to do this challenge, you know, is just break. And that's why we wanted to call it Move Freely. So not just move, but move as freely as you possibly can. So I'll just touch briefly, Daphne, on some of the themes that we're going to be doing. And then we're going to have this all laid out in our event page, which we're going to launch later today. And so we have a play zone week where we're going to invite you to be like a kid again. So whether you do that solo on your own, or whether you have kids that you can do some of this stuff with, we just have a whole list of ideas that we're going to be putting out there for each week. So we have a play zone week to start out with, and to really just kind of break free, and to, again, challenge yourself, maybe not to do the same old kind of movement maybe you have done, or maybe do something that you haven't done in decades. And then we have a great outdoors week that we're going to be doing, where you can really focus on outdoor activity. Now that we're allowed out a little bit more.
Fresh air.
Yeah.
Fresh air is powerful for the mind.
Yeah. And then we have a Move and Groove week, where we're going to be incorporating a little bit more music and just different things that you can either do indoors or outdoors with that. And then we have a Pump It Up week, where we're going to focus a little bit more on the physical strength training, and just things that you can do with everyday household objects, all the way up to, you know, full weight range. So we have a lot of different ideas that we're going to put out there, whether you're solo on your own or whether you've got a group to do stuff with. The whole thing is we really just want to encourage everybody to move throughout the month of July, which of course we have July 4th, right, coming up, our Independence Day. So we're claiming our independence from this COVID thing in a way that we can, and just move however we can. So thank you, Jamise. I love everything that you contributed. Daphne, do you have anything else you want to chime in with?
No, but I'm gonna see if we can get Jamise to do a workout session. She's great with using household items to
brooms, water bottles.
Whatever you can grab, right?
Right, whatever you can grab.
No, but we definitely encourage you to move, follow the challenge, follow the page, our community page. We are all about mind, body, and soul. So we thank you for your participation. Jamise, thank you. Joy, back to you.
Awesome. Yes, keep a lookout for our page. We're going to launch an event page, so you can feel free to invite other people to join in with us. And then you can also sign up for our little email thing, so that you can get email notifications for the different themes of the week, and also get plugged into our community group. So keep a lookout. We're going to launch officially July 1st. So
let's go. Move it, people. Move it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you.